Okay. Everybody hear the music? We're good. We're good. We're rolling. Yeah, Daniel did this music. Should only be a minute. Hi, everybody. It's Reality Breach Live. I'm Sergio, your host. How do I turn off this screen? Here we go. All right. Hi, I'm here with two new guys this week. They weren't here for the premiere episode, but we have a lot of different contributors on Reality Breach, so I'm very happy to welcome first Jarius Thomas, the unapologetic geek.
What's up? Hello, everybody. I think you said we have like a collection of people that's on the team. So when we all get together for like a special episode, is that equivalent to the portals?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. At some point, we have to do an Avengers All-In episode. That's just an hour's worth of chaos.
Yeah.
And in our third window here is the one and only Robert Morris.
How your mama now?
She's fine.
Mama Lugo, we love you.
She's definitely not watching. As those of you who have seen the first episode know that now we do these as a live stream. They're going to be every other week at around this time, Tuesdays at 8:30 Central. I guess that would be what, 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah, it's really
late. Okay, old man.
I'm sleeping shit.
We then archive the episodes on YouTube on our YouTube channel. That's the Reality Breached YouTube channel. It's very easy to find. Also, all of these episodes are then turned into podcasts and released on the Reality Breached Live podcast feed. Now, that is different from the old Reality Breached feed. We will put some directions on how to get there. The great news is as of yesterday, the Reality Breach live feed is available on iTunes and Spotify. That means any search engines or podcast platforms that use those two platforms as their source material, you have access to Reality Breach Live now. We've also got some exclusive bite-sized episodes that are going to be hitting in between our live episodes on the podcast feed. So be sure to check that out. I'm Sergio, your host. I don't know if I introduced myself. Doing these things live puts me on edge, so I'll get used to it. We have some topics today. What we're going to do is we're going to go through our round of topics. We're going to go for an hour. So I'm looking at both of y'all on the screen. Don't be long-winded. No more 3-hour podcasts for Reality Breached.
I am a proponent of a non-3-hour podcast. I've been on podcasts for eternity before, and I tapped out. That's
true. And then we're going to go over a couple of things to be on the lookout for in the coming weeks that we might talk about in our next episode. Today, let's go over 3 real quick topics, and then we'll hit our main one. The first quick topic is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show on Disney Plus, debuted last week with its 2 premiere episodes. Now, did both of you watch these episodes?
I did.
You did? Robert, you didn't?
Yeah.
Well, we're not really going to do any spoilers, so that's good. That's good. But,
I mean, I'm a big Star Wars buff, so I mean, there's probably spoilers is fine with me if y'all want to talk about it.
I don't know. Like, Jarius, like, is there really that much to spoil?
Not really. It's really light. Nothing crazy happens. There are some chronological things that can be discussed that may feel like a spoiler, but it's just like a line of dialogue, really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess Jarius, what did you think?
I like the start of it. I'm anxious to see where we're headed. The main reason I'm here, of course, is for lightsaber battles, and there's yet to be one. But what are you gonna do? And also Vader. I'm ready to see he and Kenobi square off. So I'm excited about the show in that regard. I like the approach. It kind of feels like Logan, the last Wolverine movie. Kind of feels like that with an old man Logan kind of story. Yeah, and I like the story of him really being traumatized and kind of scared of the Empire in that regard. So I'm committed to 6 episodes of this.
Yeah,
there are other shows that I've tapped out on after the first 2 episodes, but yeah, I'm anxious to see where this goes.
Wow, how bad does a show have to be to tap out after 2 episodes? Like,
I'm
willing to watch almost anything that's 6 episodes long.
You know me. I'm just about there with you. Like, I'm willing to just check out anything. For God's sakes, I finished True Blood in its entirety. It has to be terrible.
Man, you deserve an award.
I know. And it was one of those things where I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. I just watched it because I had committed my life to like 4 seasons of it at that point.
Because you hate yourself?
And I just had to see it through.
Yeah. What I like is they did a really good job of saying it's been a hell of a long time. It's been 10 years since the Battle of Mustafar. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Mustafar.
And they set up the Empire as a menacing threat. Like the Empire's scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Obi-Wan being scared of them. He has really good reason to be. And I have talked a lot of shit about Star Wars over the past 5 years. I gave all the prequels, okay, that first one was not prequels. I gave all the sequels except for that first one. Just terrible reviews. And all the TV shows have just been like the Tales of Sandy Star Wars, because it's all been in the fucking desert, right?
It all is.
Yeah. So like, what I've learned watching just those 2 episodes is this is my Star Wars. The original 3 movies, they're kind of my Star Wars, but my Star Wars, as cheesy and as terrible as they are, my Star Wars is the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing Obi-Wan, even in, a kind of a diminutive like stature, just kind of in like hiding and just almost old man Kenobi,
mm-hmm.
even him in that state, I like it more than most of what comes after the original trilogy.
I agree with that.
So I'm extremely excited as to where it's going to go, because this is my Star Wars. Him pulling this is a little spoilery, Robert, I'm sorry. When he gets the lightsabers and he looks at them, and I was just like, oh yeah,
I'm with it.
Someone up, Kenobi.
And I like the build. Like, it's going to be a big deal when he draws it finally. Because again, light spoilers, he doesn't draw it in the first 2 episodes at all.
Yeah.
And I think they're building to that moment. And it's going to be huge. One thing I am a little saddened about, it's already kind of been confirmed that Maul isn't involved in this at all. And that's like, over the years, that has become my favorite Star Wars character, just because of what the Clone Wars has done with him and things like that. That's the only thing that kind of tempers my expectations. However, Vader is here. So I'm really looking forward to it. And again, I enjoyed those first couple of episodes.
Yeah. The only other thing that I am expecting and absolutely must happen, Obi-Wan at some point has to say, hello there.
Of course.
And if he doesn't, the whole series will be a failure.
Yeah. What?
6 episodes. I mean, he ain't got time. He only got 4 to go.
He's a third of the way through.
But you know what? You raised the point. I'll wrap up with this. You raised the point that I didn't even consider. This is also my Star Wars. Like my dad's Star Wars was the original trilogy. For my money, Empire Strikes Back is the best movie in the entire thing. However, because it's our Star Wars, I'm more partial to Revenge of the Sith. To me, that's probably the most rewatchable of all of them.
High five.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, I never really considered it, and it does have that familiarity within it. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Okay. Well, guys, we have other topics. Let's move on. Since we're talking about Star Wars thing, and this is a Lucasfilm production, let's move on to the Lucasfilm news that was announced. Did everyone see the stuff come through, or am I going to be announcing it to you guys?
No, you're going to be announcing it, man. Robert been outside since Friday.
I hope he wore protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it I have heard announced, but for the most part, I'm sure you'll be announcing it to me.
Okay. So they confirmed the release dates of both The Mandalorian Season 3 and Ahsoka Season 1. Ahsoka, and they'll both be in 2023, so it looks like Mando's taking the year off. Mm-hmm. They also gave us our first teaser trailer of the show Andor that follows Cassian Andor.
I'm going to catch up on old Andor, because my memory is not that I just don't remember who that was.
Was Cassian the main guy in Rebels, or is that some other character I'm thinking about? Who the hell is Cassian?
It makes me so fucking happy that both of y'all are like, who? Because fuck that guy. Like, Cassian Andor, he was the dude in Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The guy who dies at the end of Rogue One on that planet that got, killed.
Oh, he was the all right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So were there any other announcements, or were you done there?
There were a couple more announcements. We can talk about Andor if you would like.
Not really.
For a moment. I just don't understand. Like you have A New Hope, and then Rogue One was its prequel, and now there's a whole TV show that's a fucking prequel to a prequel.
It's a waste of time and resources to me.
Yeah.
Star Wars has so much lore that sometimes I get agitated with the things that they pick. Like, there are things that don't even involve the main characters that we've grown up to see. There's a whole 100 or so years before, Qui-Gon Jinn and all that shit. So I don't know. It just gets on my nerves, man.
And it's almost like Disney is afraid to go there. I don't know if they think they're going to turn off casuals, because I don't know if you guys agree with this, but even casual fans of Star Wars are kind of hardcore fans because they know a lot. And maybe because if you are a casual fan, you are getting hit with a lot of information at any given time whenever you're watching a Star Wars anything. But they're afraid of it now. I heard General Thrawn is supposed to show up in something soon, right?
Man, General Thrawn's supposed to be showing up for 5 years now. All these
I think he's supposed to be in Ahsoka. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's the show I am excited for. Why? Because I'm a lightsaber Jedi Sith guy. Mm-hmm. Ahsoka comes with a lightsaber. I watch that all day.
2 of them, right?
Exactly. Like I'll watch that, and I guess that's my bigger point. Like, there are people who like bounty hunters, whatever. You got plenty of that. To me, Mandalorian was kind of lucky in that regard because people just love it. I haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett, but whatever with that. I think if they lean more into that, I don't know, maybe fans will be a little bit more receptive of it. I'm not sure what exactly the problem with Star Wars is as far as the disconnect between the fan base and what Disney is doing. But I'm kind of getting tired of not only Disney doing this, but really like WB with DC and Marvel to a degree, just taking these characters that we really don't give a damn about and giving them full TV shows. That's really a problem with me. Why did the Gotham Knights have a TV show on CW? I don't know. That makes no sense. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there are things like we got these adjacent franchises going on that nobody cares about. Just give me a Dark Maul movie or TV show at this point.
Oh, something. Eventually, they'll get to it. They'll get to it. It's going to happen. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just where I am. But Ahsoka, I am excited about because I like Jedi shit.
Yeah. The other two pieces of news are one, they released the first screens of Indiana Jones 5.
All right.
Because that's a thing. Like Harrison Ford, how old is Harrison Ford? Like,
he's too old to be doing this shit.
Hey,
he has to be 80. Over under. My over under is 80 right now.
I'm saying 75 to 80. The youngest.
Give me a solid number, Robert.
Oh man, 78.
Damn, he's 79. So by right rules, Rob, you win.
We split, but Rob will win.
Yeah. He's 79. By the time this comes out, he'll probably be 80. He was too old to play the. Do what?
He broke his leg on the last one, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead.
He's not one to turn down money, though. So
clearly,
he was too old to play the character 15 years ago. When did the last one come out? In like 08?
Something like that.
Yeah, 08. He was too old in 08.
I don't know. Like I want this. I want this for the Indiana Jones community. I really do. I don't know.
Is there one of those? Does that exist?
Apparently, it is.
I don't think there's an Indiana Jones. I don't think there's a whole bunch of people.
There is a Top Gun community that got that movie to $124 million in one weekend. There's the Indiana Jones community.
It released on Memorial Day weekend, and every person who has ever been tangentially related to a military person was like, Top Gun movie?
Goddamn America. That's it.
I thought this was America.
Yeah.
But yeah, Indiana Jones has a fan base. I don't understand it. Like it's cool. It's, male Tomb Raider or maybe Tomb Raider is female Indiana Jones. But anyway, like it exists. It has a place in people's hearts. Apparently, it got its own spot at a Lucasfilm expo. So
yeah.
He may end up dying in this movie and pass the choice to the next person.
You think?
They tried that in the last movie. They didn't kill him, but they did introduce his son in the last movie.
LaBeouf, who he's probably just going to be killed off or a recast.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And they gave him the name Mutt Jones. Mutt Jones.
How do we go from Indiana? Why the name Montana Jones is right there? Just call him Montana Jones. It would have worked.
I mean, you're not wrong. That is a catchy name for an explorer.
What, Montana Jones or Indiana?
Montana
Jones.
Yeah. You see, I just saw that, and I've never seen an Indiana Jones film a day in my life.
You're not missing too much. Generic white male teacher goes to a place, discovers a thing, goes home,
and then steals it. Like these, yeah. Like, have you played Uncharted?
Is it a better version of Uncharted or worse?
No.
Uncharted. By the way, Uncharted 2, the year it came out, was the best summer blockbuster I saw that year.
That's true.
Easily.
Let's see. There's a small announcement. There's a Star Wars show named Skeleton Crew starring Jude Law that is coming in 2023. There were some details about all that. We don't need to go over them. I think it's funny that it stars Jude Law because in my mind, Jude Law and Ewan McGregor live in the same house. They're the same person.
Yeah, and their best friend and next door neighbor is Daniel Craig, who's in another Star Wars movie as a stormtrooper.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about it.
Like they're all the same person. Like if
Yeah.
if Jude Law were to fall ill and not be able to do his job, they could just call in a backup, and it would be Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. Isn't he Dumbledore?
Yeah,
he's getting all the franchise money now.
Uh-huh. He's
Hey,
Dumbledore.
well, that may get your bread, player.
Right. I'm not gonna hate on it.
And the last announcement is so we talked about there being Indiana Jones fans. A big air quote there. Is there like a Willow contingency?
You know what?
Hey, man,
I've heard of like the cult of Willow, and people are really rabid over that movie. I enjoyed it when I was young. When I heard this announced, now this I did hear about. I didn't understand it. I'm going to watch it because I like fantastical shit like that. But I do not understand why Willow is going to be on my TV screen in what, 2022 or 23?
It's 23. I think it's 23.
Yeah. It looks very 23-ish. I'll tell you what, that's kind of brave to go with Willow when Lord of the Rings is right around the corner. And that's going to be a big deal.
Well, we'll see. What are your thoughts on it, Rob?
Now I love now as a man, like I have the Lord of the Rings books and the Hobbit, all leatherbound books in my home that I read casually. And I am excited. I am not excited about this Lord of the Rings show coming out.
How?
I'm just just doesn't intrigue me one bit. The only thing that I want to see is maybe the Silmarillion. Like that's probably the stories that I want.
One ring to rule them all. It's $100 million per episode or something like that. How?
Hey man, Supernatural got 15 seasons. There's some things you just can't really explain. You know what I'm saying?
Supernatural definitely should have died after season 5.
So I'm more so excited about Willow because I remember that has a more special place in my heart in my childhood. Me watching that.
It lives in that same corner that the Dark Crystal does.
Yeah,
that's not a fun corner.
It's not.
No,
I never said that.
Oh, or the what was that movie? The animated the Black Cauldron.
Yep, the Black Cauldron is there.
Wow.
You got the Black Cauldron. Never Ending Story is kind of on the fringe there. You know another one, Labyrinth, starring one David Bowie. He definitely resides in that little corner.
Yeah, not Pan's Labyrinth with that dude getting his head bashed in the beginning of the movie.
It's a good movie though.
That's a Mel Gibson movie.
Well,
was it? No, that was Guillermo del Toro.
Then what the hell am I thinking?
Pan's Labyrinth was del Toro's.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of you might be thinking of Apocalypto.
I am thinking of Apocalypto. God damn. See, when we do these things live, I can't edit out flubs like that. I'm just
Apocalypto is one of the greatest movies of all time that I had to read. Apocalypto and Parasite both are incredible movies. Pan's Labyrinth is in there too. I forgot that one isn't in English at all.
Ain't Apocalypto the one where he serpentines to get away from the dudes throwing the spears?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And at the end, colonizers show up. Spoiler alert for anybody.
It's fine. I'm not watching any of those movies. This Willow announcement, I just feel like somebody at Disney was like, look, we've leveraged Star Wars and Marvel. We got all this Disney shit. We need one of these properties from the 80s that everyone is, wild and crazy about. And some dude goes into a vault, disappears for like 6 weeks, comes back, and he's like starving and sweating and got lost. And he was like, we've got nothing. I have Willow.
He went into a vault and found Willow. Look.
Yeah. And then Disney was like, there was a bunch of, whispering. They're like, we'll take a Willow. We'll take a Willow.
Well, you know what? You can take risks like that when you own, what is it, about 12 of the top 15 or so grossing movies of all time. Yep. With a sequel that's going to come out that's probably going to make it into the top 5 greatest or highest grossing films with Avatar, Way of Water. Like, you can take risks like that, just throwing money at shit, just see what sticks.
I want to see Warwick Davis. I don't care.
Oh, yeah,
I like Warwick Davis.
He's in it.
He's a nice guy.
We need magic, Warwick. Stand up. Let's go. Let's do this. If they do another scene like a sled going down the side of a mountain like they did in the original movie, I'm in just for that one thing.
Don't tell a little guy to stand up. That's
oh, see, you brought that up.
Don't do that.
You brought that up. That's your mind. Your mind went there.
So it's safe to say we'll be watching that and probably talking about it here.
Maybe we'll see. I guess it depends on how I feel about Willow, or if I get bullied into it. Either way, let's move on to our next topic. Stranger Things. We failed to mention Stranger Things on the last stream as coming soon, and Netflix has taken a very weird release pattern with the new season of Stranger Things. There's 9 episodes?
Yes,
and they released 7 of the 9. 7 of 9? Then that's a Star Trek reference. They've released 7 of 9 to the platform, and all of them are very long. And they're going to release the other 2 in July?
Yes, July 1st. They're taking up both of the holidays. The first being Memorial Day, the second one going to be 4th of July.
Okay.
Which now, with that context, it's kind of genius in a bit, especially if they don't have anything else down the pipeline that they want to release. They kind of are like, okay, we're going to monopolize this little window a little bit and just have people talking about Stranger Things for this period of time.
I get the strategy behind it. What I don't like is Netflix carrying the banner for no, we're going to release everything on the same day because binge worthy.
I do not like that. I don't like that they walked it back.
Right. Like, don't stand behind that flag and then immediately burn the flag when you're like, oh, stock price.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did. And it's definitely a subscriber grab type of move. However, I will say this. If you're going to take 3 years off, this is how you come back. We're just going to give you a supersized season to let you know we didn't waste a lot of time. And narratively, we're still going to make sense. And essentially, we're not going to do what Game of Thrones did to you all.
And also watch the recap. I mean, that helps. Because a brother forgot that Russia was even a part of this.
Yeah, definitely watch that recap.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, Russia in here.
Speaking of recaps, going real quickly back to Obi-Wan. That was a really good recap to open that first episode.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
It was beautifully done.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wait. Oh, they're going to recap the movies. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was cool. But anyway, Stranger Things. Would you like to start?
So I think I'm on episode 5. I think is where I'm at. Robert, how far are you?
I'm 38 minutes and 56 seconds in on episode 1.
Awesome. So we're going.
But everybody, their mama is talking about it on Facebook, so I can't avoid shit.
So we're gonna go light spoilers here.
I know Jordan wants to rant about it, so
much to my chagrin.
Yeah.
Now go ahead, man, rant, because I'm watching it now. I'm going to watch it. It's not going to bother me.
I can't wait till we have to come back for part 2. Because we're going to get to talk about what we're not going to get to talk about in part 1 and how they deliver the big reveals. I believe that the finale, sometimes it can feel a little inflated. Sometimes it can feel a little drawn out just with the dialogue. However, the reveal that they're getting you to is well worth it when you get to it. And Stranger Things has their Thanos equivalent now with Vecna.
Unless they pull something fabulous out of their ass in the next 2 or 3 episodes, I cannot agree less.
I was underwhelmed with him for the most part. He didn't seem as powerful as he should. But once they get you to where they're going, you're like, okay. I'll put it like this. He's there as far as you taking him as a serious threat. It's going to take those last 2 episodes, and I told my wife this, to really solidify him as like what he's been built up to be. To me, in my guesstimation, he has to kill 1 or 2 of these kids. He has to get he has to have his snap moment, to me.
Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's Stranger Things. It's not going to happen.
We'll see.
We'll see. The reason I say that is because this season has been okay from what I've seen. It's way too long-winded. There's way too much stuff to go over. Way too many characters. And all of this nitpicky bullshit high school stuff is not well done. Period.
I agree with that.
Like we're gonna bully this guy. We're gonna do no. Like it's fucking dumb.
Especially the 11 part. I did not. I just didn't care for how they handled that. But they're gonna decide to sideline the correct characters that need to be sidelined in order to bring some semblance of focus. But I will say this: if they're ever gonna revive Nightmare on Elm Street or do something, if they want to do it like a TV show or something like that, I think even though the Duffer Brothers have already said that was their inspiration, I think the tone and the way it's done with Vecna will work if they ever really wanted to just say, hey, we're going to bring Freddy Krueger back for another run.
Freddy don't keep his ass asleep.
And and in that regard, and this is a light spoiler, but Robert, I know you don't mind, and I know Sergio has already seen it. It was good seeing Robert Englund kind of come in and lend himself to the Nightmare on Elm Street themes of this season. I appreciated that.
Like, I'm having to force myself to watch this season. There have been some legitimately exciting things happen, but it's hard for me to give a shit.
So, and you've seen Dear Billy?
I've seen I don't think I've finished Dear Billy.
Okay.
Wait, Dear Billy? Yeah, I finished Dear Billy because that was the end of that was really good.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Was
yeah.
The
end of that was really good. I really like Max's character.
Yeah,
but like, I don't give a shit about any of these kids.
Yeah.
None of these kids, like including Elle, none of them have shown that they're useful in any way.
The storyline I don't care for is, and I said this when I talked about it on Facebook earlier, the Russian one is kind of one that I felt like could be condensed.
Oh, at least it's funny. At least it's funny.
It does have some great comedic moments. Yeah. But all the Hawkins stuff I appreciate. By the way, doesn't that kid look just like and act like Robert Downey Jr.?
The long-haired one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like they clearly told him, hey, man, just act like Robert Downey Jr., but 80s version. Robert Downey Jr.
He's talking about the kid that had the bat last season?
No, he's a new character.
It's a new character, yeah. He's the guy who runs the
Hellfire Club.
Yeah, the Hellfire Club.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I want him to die. I'm 38 minutes in, and he already getting them damn nerve.
I felt the same way, but as it goes on, you're like, okay, you know what? These are
they neuter his annoying side very quickly.
Very quickly, yeah. It's probably one of those things like, okay, this is enough of that.
I never like anybody that has to get their point across by climbing on the table when I'm trying to eat my chicken.
YouTube?
Yeah. Bro,
you just pick up the tray and toss it.
You gotta see me. You gotta see me, bro.
Got your feet in my food, bro. Yeah. But, yeah. They just, again, this is one of the things, and like when we were having the the pre-episode discussions, like I was really hoping everyone would have been able to finish it because it's that last episode is loaded. It's quite a bit to talk about.
I hope so. I've always liked Stranger Things, but I've never loved Stranger Things. You know, it's always been just cheesy enough to turn me off, but the aesthetic and the setting and the characters are cool enough to carry me through. But
whereas I love it. if it's not clear here, I love it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The first 3 seasons didn't have a dude that represented the Upside Down, right?
No.
The Upside Down was more of an idea, more of a it's in the shadows and mysterious, right?
Right, and you got like the first one, the Demogorgon, just let you know, look, this is the shit that's going on in the Upside Down. In the second season, it was the Mind Flayer. In the third season, it was the Mind Flayer Returns. And now, here we are with Vecna.
It's just a fucking dreadlock dude. Like, I don't like that he talks. I don't like anything about that character.
Oh, you talking about the dude when the girl was in the bathroom and the feet came under the... I was like, that's low key. Hey man, that's an adult. That's something wrong about that whole situation. just going inside the girl. That was a little bit too much for me. That's like episode 1 of Game of Thrones. That was like, nah, I can't do this.
Oh man, Game of Thrones episode 1 is definitely this too much episode. Yeah, tell everybody calm down.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that dude at all. Like, you don't remove the veil of mystery surrounding the Upside Down and just make it into some generic bad guy. Like, I don't give a shit. No.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back. I need to look at what Tuesday that's going to be. Then we're coming back and we'll talk about the rest of it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here since our discussions are going quicker than expected. Have you guys watched the most recent season of Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about Atlanta.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because it ended since the last time we talked. So I figured, why not? You're literally in Atlanta. So I think we have the right crew here to talk about Atlanta. Even though Reed, I will give Reed his credit. He has watched all of Atlanta and loves it.
Yeah, I was joking about that though.
But joking about what?
I said because we're black.
No.
But I know. Anyway, it certainly helps. So, well, I guess I'll start.
Yeah, go for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if FX announces a spinoff that's basically Tales of Atlanta, and it just has like these random or insane stories set within this universe's version of Atlanta, which is some of the things I've kind of seen, but like this version of Atlanta is clearly, tongue in cheek in a lot of ways. A lot of people that I've seen like on Twitter and stuff don't really like it because they want to see the characters that they fell in love with. I give a lot of credit to the creative risk they took with doing all of it, having these the episodes with the characters we like, and then mix them in with these random crazy, even creepy episodes, and I really appreciate that. I want to see a what's his name? Hero. It's not Suzuki. That's a wrestler's name. Hero something. I can't remember what it is, but I'm at the point where I want to see a horror movie directed by him now, and maybe even Donald Glover because some of his direction has been creepy also. But I appreciate the creative risk they took with this season because that's pretty ballsy to start the first episode off with none of the main characters, give you some of the main characters for 2 episodes, and then spend 2 episodes after that on completely random stories. Like that takes some real balls to do that.
Yeah. The whole like avant-garde approach to this season where it's Atlanta because it's the same crew that made the first 2 seasons, but fuck it, we're not going to spend any time in Atlanta. We're like the characters that you've grown to love are only going to grow incrementally and in very weird ways. But I feel like from a eagle eye, what this season did is taught us what these characters have to go through now that they're successful.
And I appreciate that. That's good progression to me.
Yeah. There was a lot of off camera, off screen in between season, character development, a lot of assumptions that you have to make. But when we see them in this season, the status quo is different. It's Paperboy having to figure out how to be rich, how to be successful, and him coming to terms with knowing that he has no fucking clue what he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Earn looking like he absolutely knows what it is he's doing. Like
right?
The way he handled himself and juxtaposed to how the character is in the first couple seasons. I mean, when we last saw him, he was kind of questioning his skills as a manager, and now he has a handle on it. So yeah, that was great to see.
Yeah. What about you, Robert?
I think the lessons, the things that are going on within our society, how they did the whole satire, how they played it in, especially in episode 1, with the kid. Like as soon as he put that hat on, I was like, "Oh Lord, have mercy!" I know exactly what they're referencing, and it took me a lot to sit and watch that full episode.
And because it's a horrific story.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, who cooks chicken in a microwave? But that's beside the point. I like the fact, of course, like you guys said, it's called Atlanta, but they weren't even in Atlanta for one episode. I liked the story of the crazy white dude that all of a sudden they met at that rich man's party, and all of a sudden he like white saviorism moment. Come to find out he's the one that stole Paperboy's phone. Like
That's
it was
a really good episode.
That was a good episode. It was crazy. And you know what about that episode? Like it kind of twists you. It's kind of like playing a video game and you go to a cutscene and you think you're gonna do something with this person, but you end up doing something totally different. And like so, with that, I thought they were going to explore that building. I thought they were going to explore the building and something weird and crazy was going to happen, but no, it was just this whole deep dive on like a super fan, and like the shit that famous people have to deal with. Because I'm pretty sure Donald Glover probably had to deal with 1 or 2 of those type of people.
What I appreciate about that episode is that super fan knew things that was only in that phone but did not have it, and that was a big deal to me. Like once I found out he had nothing to do with it, then it becomes, how the hell does he know that shit?
There's this one guy on the internet. I don't know who he is. It's his I don't know where he's from or his nationality or anything like that. But he walks up to artists and he just says shit that they don't tell people. Like he just knows.
Oh, I remember that. Doesn't he have a video with like Black Youngster?
Yeah,
his
that's a really good way to get punched.
It is.
Yeah, and it's like, how the fuck do you know that? And come walk with me outside real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like as much as that episode seems about a crazy fan and about privacy and all this shit, that episode's about Paperboy and him not knowing if he can even write anymore. That's the crux of the whole episode.
Main thing. That insecurity.
That insecurity and needing that phone back because of it, and him coming clean with that fan and just being like, "Look, you don't realize how important this is, and I fucking need it."
He's completely vulnerable in that moment, and I appreciate the episode. That's like, as funny as it is, it's those vulnerabilities, and to be honest, the star of the show is Paperboy, because he gets another standout episode when he's high, and that episode was heavy, and he's going through this Alice in Wonderland-esque adventure, And he just keeps getting down deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole, and then in the end, they just take you to where you were in the beginning, which I thought was genius. And I love the resolution that the reveal that he may or may not have been seeing his mom as he remembers her, but also it's like his mom was telling him, "Hey, take care of your business." And be careful who you trust. And then he finds out at the end, Ern always had his best interest at heart. I thought that was a very good episode.
Yeah.
Brian Tyree Henry has become a heavyweight, man. Like ever since I think my first time seeing him was on Atlanta, but now all the other stuff he's been on, I've thoroughly enjoyed him.
Yeah, it's the cast that they pulled together. These four. It's astonishing how good all four of them are.
By the way, Zazie Beetz acting in the finale.
Yeah.
That's basically Teddy Perkins Part 2 to me.
Yep.
You're talking about stressed out and you had no idea the entire time what the hell was happening.
And we have to mention Darius.
Of course.
Because Lakeith is one of my favorite actors, period. Like I'm just waiting for them to announce him as somebody in the MCU. Because it's coming. It's going to happen.
I thought he would have been a great Kang the Conqueror. I appreciate Jonathan Majors being who they ultimately chose. Maybe Lakeith can be a variant. But after seeing what they went with Kang, I feel Lakeith Stanfield really could have done it. Also,
he could have. Yeah, he could have. But I wish Darius was my uncle. Like, I wish I could just call him and hang out with Darius, because that motherfucker is one of my favorite characters of all time.
He's awesome, man. He is. And I almost feel like his lines aren't written. And it's a testament to the character that he does have one of the best episodes in the franchise with the aforementioned Teddy Perkins episode. Like, he was brilliant in there. And so was Donald Glover also.
Yeah.
That Teddy Perkins episode is going to sit with me for the rest of my days, because that's one
haunting.
of the best I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and you could have easily turned it into a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few this season that could easily be a horror movie. Easy.
Like the one with the babysitter that died, and somebody keeps knocking on the door in the middle of the night. And when he answers the door, nobody is there, and it's this package, and you could that was creepy. They had the episode that I mentioned where when Darius was high. I'm not Darius. Paperboy was high. Was creepy or had some moments, and then of course Van's episode at the end that was nerve wracking.
Mm-hmm. And the one that was black and white, what was it?
Yes, with Kevin Samuels in it.
Yeah. The whole thing was shot like an old Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, it was brilliant again.
Yeah, like TV shows. Like, if you're watching TV and you're not watching Atlanta, I want to say fuck your opinion. just period. Like, because Atlanta is so good, it puts all other comedies, most dramas, to shame. Like, you should start there and work your way down to shit TV like Supernatural.
Exactly.
I think like with this season though, I barely even laughed. It was more thought provoking.
It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. I don't even think. I think I laughed maybe one time. Is that when Zazie pushed that dude in the water?
It was.
That's probably the only time I just had a good laugh. Everything else.
I laughed really fucking loud when Paperboy tried cutting that dude's tree down.
Mm-hmm. No. Oh yeah, give me my money.
The funniest one to me was when he had the meeting with the Black Lives Matter people.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, all coming up with those strategies. That dialogue, all of that was hilarious.
Woo, that made me so mad. That made me so mad. Then the dude gonna say, "This is how you get the money."
Exactly.
And I was like, "Paperboy, punch this dude in the face." Please punch this dude.
No, I'm going to tell you what was funny. The commercial that they gave for him with his voice in the background, and it had all the themes that a rapper does not want to be associated with within that commercial, and I was crying laughing, man. Like, it was so funny to me.
Wasn't that the same people? When that whole episode based off that whole Pepsi thing with the
I believe so.
Kardashians?
Yeah, I believe so.
That seems accurate. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not running short on time, but we're running out of time. Let's. I'm gonna bounce some Love, Death, and Robots off you. How about that?
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Y'all know. Come on.
I'm gonna let Robert go first. Like, what stood out? Because Love, Death, and Robots, Volume 3.
Jabiru, all day. Jabiru, all day. So many references to Kim Conquistadors, the Siren, how she is the river. That's all CGI. The necklaces, the movement, how her scream looked like she was being hurt. And as an artist, the artistic value of the people dancing with her in the water before they drown. And you come to realize that, she's lonely. But, these guys, she's also a siren. And once she finds the deaf dude, Jabiru, whatever his name is, his old stupid ass, and she like follows him and is like almost like in falling in love with him. Like finally somebody who can't go insane listening to my voice. And once he, realizes that she's made of gold, then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, conquistadors, all that stuff, yada yada yada, that makes sense. And then you got the greed, and then he like rips her apart, and I was like, bruh, chill. And once he got his hearing back, I was happy when his ass died.
Yes. So, first of all, excuse me. When I asked who all watched Love, Death, and Robots, I was going to be surprised if you had. Because I know how you are about artistry. And I appreciate your takes on it. And I'm glad that it's you that watched it, as well as Sergio, and we're here talking about it. What I appreciate about Jabaro was what the director said it was about, which is a toxic relationship. And what is there even a word of dialogue spoken in that episode? I don't believe
I don't think so.
And the way they were able to tell their story and shift it from one person being the villain to, in the end, you're rooting for the original villain in the first place within the span of 15 minutes is brilliant. Visually, I have never seen anything like that before. The last time I was just kind of enamored with what I was seeing in terms of just graphical prowess, like what's popping out on screen was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
To me, and that's like I couldn't get over how great it looked. Jabaro, I don't know if Love, Death, and Robots, if another creator is going to have it in them to surpass what that episode did. It's like Zima Blue, to me, up until Jabaro, was the best Love, Death, and Robots episode, even though it wasn't my favorite.
I painted that. That's how much I love that, man.
Even though it wasn't my favorite, I conceded that it was the best. But Jabaro was so good, and it has to win awards around award season. Has to. That it just, like, it was a moving painting. It was essentially what the show is about. I know that, it's about the themes of the love, death, and of course, robots in the future, and kind of has that Black Mirror quality to it. But to me, that show is about the art, and the pinnacle of that is Jabaro.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's, I'm glad this is the one we're talking about, because the other shorts are great. This season was really, really good. But Jabaro is the one that you said that it was about a toxic relationship. I can totally see 7 people watching it and having 7 different interpretations of what the story is or what it's supposed to be about. It's a metaphor layered on top of a metaphor, layered on top of a metaphor. And visually, it's almost unsettling how close it's one of the only things I've ever watched that did not have inherent uncanny valley problems. Like I caught myself looking for proof that it was CG. Not.
I understand it.
Yeah. Like, wait, is that a dude's face? Is that CG? What is that? Like, I didn't know what was happening in front of me, and the way it was shot, and the way the art interacted with how it was shot, it was almost just unsettling. Like it you can't comfortably watch that episode, and that's on purpose.
Yes. Yeah, especially when it gets violent.
Now, a good second one for me, I would think like that crustacean one with the big crab. Now that one right there was good because I didn't know where the story was going, and the twist of it was good because I thought that the captain was kind of the villain, but I didn't realize that all those people were willing to sacrifice all those other folks, and I was like, oh, okay.
And that's David. Yeah. Is it David Fincher or David Finkner?
David Fincher. He's the producer of the show.
Right, he is, and he came down and showed us how it was done.
And a good third for me would probably be IO. The something on the machine or something like that. I forget the.
Oh yes,
forget the name of it.
The body of the machine or something. Yeah. Like the very soul of the machine, something like that. Yeah, that one visually stuck.
Which one was that?
Where they were stuck on a planet and the girl was dragging the body across.
Oh, yeah, where they became one with the planet. Yeah,
yeah, they were on Jupiter's moon.
Yeah, that was deep.
That was good. Now I did enjoy the episode with the hive mind. And they
Swarm, yeah.
Yes, I did enjoy that. I enjoyed how you were led to believe that these creatures were mindless, and come to find out they were just a bunch of other creatures that tried to take over the hive mind, and the hive mind just basically took over them and absorbed it. I thought that was great. That is another great movie concept that just was, pared down into about a 15-minute episode as well. But I really enjoyed that one.
Couple of final thoughts because we're desperately close to end of time. Love, Death, and Robots. Not very much love this season.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And definitely not enough penises for the first season. There were penises everywhere. Second season, I don't think there was one at all.
We low key got pissed on in that one what they was fighting that cyber bear that they kept calling the honey badger.
That shit was insane.
So honey badgers don't give a shit.
Yeah. I also appreciate the mini zombie thing. I thought that
was hilarious, man.
It was very funny. Like when they created giant zombies, I was oh my god, I laughed so hard. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They created giant zombies.
Yeah, irradiated giant zombies. All right, guys. Well, let me let's see. Jump to our next thing. Next time on Reality Breached Live, this is where we talk about what's coming up in the next 2 weeks. It's stuff we might talk about, we may not talk about. No guarantees. Just if anyone watches and it's like, hey, I want to be prepared for the next episode, I would assume we're going to talk about Obi-Wan some more because there's still 4 episodes left. We'll be a little deeper into that. We might wait another 4 weeks for that. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about Jurassic World Dominion. That comes out on the 8th. And Miss Marvel debuts like next week.
Man, I was excited, man.
Yeah. What's wrong with Miss Marvel, man?
We'll get to it.
What's wrong with Miss Marvel, man?
Didn't I just tell you all I do not want shows about people I don't give a damn about?
Damn. You got to watch this because then the Marvels will make sense next year.
Well, yes. I'm going to watch it because it's Marvel and I got to, I'm on coke at this point. I got to have it. But yeah.
Well,
hey, if they can act like, no, never mind. I take it.
Yeah, no, don't do it. I don't know where you were going, but I don't think we need you to go there.
Never mind. I'll be quiet.
Here's where we're supposed to plug, but we're kind of out of time. I want to thank both of you for being on the show with me today. Jarius, you're the unapologetic geek on Facebook. follow that. Like, I always get kinds of weird notifications that you, a good friend of mine, has people that I know that you don't know commenting on your shit because your shit's so popular. So
Thank you.
congratulations on that. Robert Morris, the Jackson's favorite artist and part-time podcaster and also radio broadcaster. I, again, thank you for being on the show as well. I'm Sergio. I host all this dumb shit. Listen to Shellheads. Listen to the rest of the Reality Breached stuff. Music, as always, is brought to you by Daniel Key, which we'll get him on one of these shows at some point. Again, guys, I thank you so much for joining me, and I thank everyone for listening. Be sure to subscribe on all of the platforms. That includes Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. What else are we on? Twitter. We're on Twitter. And you can find the brand new podcast feed on all major podcast platforms, mostly including iTunes and Spotify. So check that out. Again, thanks everybody, and we're going to shut this down. Have a wonderful 2 weeks.
Bye.